During my cocooning phase, there has been a lot of self reflecting and self healing. And for me, before my cocooning phase, there was like new experiences in my life going on. Going to high school for the first time and just having all these social changes and changes within myself and feelings going on. And before we had to stay at home, there has been like these feelings that were coming up for me, and it kind of triggered me into going into like this self isolation mode already, where I was like thinking about my feelings more, and like, and now going through that kind of situation this time has made me do more of that, and I'm really grateful for this time, and I view it as a gift to really self reflect.
During this cocooning phase, I feel that I'm learning a lot about myself, especially that I kind of default exist in a state of forward thinking and planning about the future and, you know, just looking at what I can do to move, personal or professional goals forward. And it's been really hard to slow down for me and really enjoy the day to day without having really any control over what is coming. And that's been a big challenge for me, but I'm learning to make sure that each day I do things that make me happy. And right now, that's a lot of getting outside for walks every day and moving my body in ways that makes it feel really good and strong. And just connecting with friends and family virtually. Those are the kind of the main things that I try and do on a um, day to weekly basis that make me really happy and help with the uncertainty of what's to come.
When quarantine came, I felt really relieved, and that was just because I realized I wasn't in charge of holding relationships together anymore. Often I was like the planner and the person who would like really like book out my free time to hang out with people. And when quarantine happened, I realized that I couldn't do that. And so instead, I was able to shift the energy onto myself. And I realized how much I was draining my social battery before all this, and how little I was actually giving to myself.
So I think this period of time has definitely taught me how to listen to myself more and how to check in with myself and make decisions that feel right for me, whether or not those are the decisions that I think people are expecting of me. It's also been a time to check in with myself and reevaluate why I was making the decisions that I was before and how I was living my life, and to think about how to more intentionally build a life that feels authentic and meaningful and purposeful to me, and how to move forward in a way that will help me to become the person that I want to become.
I know things are definitely going to be different after this whole time, and a few ways that we can prepare ourselves for when that time comes, where we can go back to life again, is to kind of reflect on what our life is like now and before quarantine ever happened, and to see where things weren't really working for us or were working for us, and just kind of apply that to when we can come back and to really like better ourselves and better our life.
So, as I envision a post cocoon life for myself, I am sure that I want to see myself say no to a lot more things than I did in the pre cocoon phase of life. And I think right before we entered quarantine, I was running from to activity or commitment to commitment, and um, there's just this overwhelming sense of relief when we stopped everything, and I got to cancel all of my plans and all of my commitments, and I'm really just got to slow down. And I think that was um, a little bit of a personal check for me to say, like, I can do um, a better job of living a more balanced lifestyle. And um, I think that's one thing that I'm really learning and trying to cultivate, like a real good relationship with um, myself and with, you know, solo activities in a way that can lead to a more balanced and hopefully less stressful post cocoon life.
Everything is going to be different. Everything is going to change. Whether it's small or big, things are going to change. And I think the best way to kind of prepare yourself for this post cocoon world is to create habits or self talk or both that allow you to practice fluctuating within that change instead of making it harder for yourself by working against it.
I think in terms of ways we can envision a future for ourselves that is exciting beyond this cocoon phase, like what we want to do when we become butterflies. I think the way to do that right now, anyways, is to really to dream big, to follow what feels really right and authentic and meaningful in your heart, and think about what does that look like. How could you envision that reality? How can you dream up a world that feels better than what we came from? And I think that this is a really beautiful moment to envision that future and to just think about how drastically things can change so quickly, right? Like the way that our world has changed just in the past few months is in ways that we never envisioned before, that we never imagined were possible. And so I think for me, it's been really getting in touch with those dreams of mine that I didn't feel were possible or for some reason didn't feel realistic, and thinking through them, like considering them as real possibilities. And what does that world look like?